Good morning and welcome to your Farm and Home Show. I'm Kristi Shive, and this morning we're visiting with LaToya Drake. She's program coordinator with the Kentucky Nutrition Education Program. Well, September has been Hunger Action Month, and we have been focusing on giving back to our local food pantries. How can we impact food security in our communities, LaToya?
It's really important that we do impact food security in our communities because 1 in 7 of our neighbors are hungry in Kentucky. And we can do that through a variety of ways. And we can do that by giving back to our local food pantries and our local food banks. And I want to explain some of the differences between those two options. Well, food pantries are what we know of in our communities, and they're often called food banks, but that's a whole nother thing. Food pantries are often found in our local churches, community centers, school pantry programs, mobile pantries, distribution sites. So those food pantries are those local folks on the ground doing the work to get folks linked with food. And, there's more folks doing that work than ever. And we want to encourage folks to continue that because since COVID and continued natural disasters and inflation, more folks than ever are using food pantries as their source of food. So we want to make sure that we're giving back when we can. So our bank is Feed America, Kentucky's Heartland. And I'm proud to serve on that board. And that bank serves not only the county of my home, which is Barron County, but Warren County and 42 other counties. So a food bank is a nonprofit. And as you can see at the map on the screen, there are several across Kentucky, and they house thousands of pounds of food. And so they get their food from food drives, from farmers, things like Hunters for the Hungry. They also get it from companies and businesses. I know we're a partner with Kroger at the Feeding America Kentucky's Heartland, which we appreciate their donations. And one of the big things they are able to do with those monetary donations is buy large quantities of food for cheap. So if you ever want to give back to a food bank, if you have funds to give, that's the best way to do it because they're going to be able to buy more food than you could with your own money for a cheaper amount of money. Also, we see the USDA and the federal government securing those food banks with food too.
What items can individuals give to these food pantries?
So we're thinking about food pantries. So those are the boots on the ground and those organizations in our community, our churches. So you can give back and you can give a variety of items. We want to consider My Plate and we want to give food that is going to help them make up a complete diet and a balanced diet. So things you can give back are peanut butter, right? Canned soup, canned fruit, canned vegetables, canned stews or canned meats, canned fish, canned beans or dry beans even, pasta, and rice. Another thing that folks don't think about or consider giving to food banks are can openers. You never know. Folks might not have access to a can opener. They might not have access to a stove or an oven. So these kind of things can help folks eat when they have limited resources or might be houseless.
It's important to make sure that we're giving items that can be used. LaToya, is there anything that cannot be donated?
Yeah, we basically don't want to donate items to food pantries that we wouldn't want to eat ourselves. So we want to donate items that are typically stored in the refrigerator, right? Because we don't want to give people food poisoning. We don't want to donate expired food. Cans actually are indefinitely good, but we don't want to donate that expired food because usually we probably wouldn't eat that food unless it was like a super emergency time. So we don't want to give that to folks. We want to respect folks and respect their dignity. We also don't want to give them leftovers because we don't know the food safety aspect of that. And if there's packaging concerns related to this food, if you don't know what's inside the container, if it's broken a little bit, don't give that to them. We also want to exclude baked goods. So I know you have a big heart, you want to give things, but you want to make sure that you're giving things that you would accept yourself. So just a quick reminder to help your local food pantries is reach out to those food pantries and volunteer. Also, go to Feeding Kentucky's website and you can search there and look for ways how to help and how to get help if you need that. But basically, just reach out to those local food pantries in your community and volunteer at those local distribution days. And remember that hunger is all year round. It's not just during the holiday season. So we want to make sure that our neighbors are fed throughout the year.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. Always a pleasure to have you with us, LaToya. Thank you for joining us today on the Farm and Home Show, and we'll see you next time.